On February 8, 2019, deputies from the Lonoke County Sheriff's Office in Arkansas conducted what would become a textbook example of identifying and apprehending a law enforcement impersonator. The subject, 37-year-old Jeremy Kurck, had just activated emergency lights and sirens directly in front of an unmarked patrol vehicle, accelerating to 90 miles per hour in what appeared to be an emergency response.
I'm sorry, sir?
You ID'd yourself as an arson investigator, right? Where does that radio go to?
It's Adam radio. It's A-Win radio.
Where did you get an A-Win radio?
The deputy immediately recognizes several red flags. The subject identifies himself as an independent arson investigator, wearing a badge resembling official law enforcement insignia. Under Arkansas Code Section 537-208, criminal impersonation in the first degree occurs when someone pretends to be a law enforcement officer by wearing or displaying without authority any uniform or badge by which an officer is lawfully distinguished.
Okay, step out and step to the back here.
Sure.
You got your camera on, you better make sure it's recording.
Okay.
Let's step out.
Notice the deputy's systematic approach to the investigation. He's documenting each piece of evidence: the badge, the emergency radio tuned to their frequency, the vehicle equipped with emergency lights. This methodical collection of evidence will be crucial for the prosecution. The subject claims to be serving civil papers, but civil process servers have no legal authority to use emergency equipment or violate traffic laws under Arkansas statutes.
No, sir.
Is that our frequency you're listening to?
Yes, sir.
What's the phone?
The subject now reveals he's with ADEM, Arkansas Department of Emergency Management, as a volunteer. However, volunteer status with emergency management does not grant authority to use emergency lights for private business. The deputy is splitting his probable cause systematically, asking about each piece of equipment and its intended use. The subject's explanation that handcuffs serve as a theft deterrent strains credibility.
You're out serving civil papers, using our radio, running lights and sirens. Didn't know he was behind you, did you? You're not law enforcement, you understand that, right?
A critical moment occurs as the deputy discovers the subject is monitoring law enforcement radio frequencies while conducting private business. In many jurisdictions, monitoring police frequencies while committing crimes can be considered an aggravating factor. The subject's claim that he enjoys playing with the radar detector further undermines any legitimate law enforcement purpose for his equipment.
Okay. You got handcuffs in there too. What are the handcuffs for?
They're from...
What are they for?
They're a theft deterrent.
The investigation reveals an extensive collection of law enforcement equipment, handcuffs, a radar unit, emergency lights, a police scanner, and a K9 unit designation on the vehicle. Each item alone might have an innocent explanation, but the totality creates overwhelming evidence of impersonation. This concept, known as the totality of circumstances, is fundamental in criminal investigations.
So they won't break into it?
If you walked up to break that window and break in, and you saw that, would you break in?
I'm not a criminal, but yeah, I'd steal your handcuffs and steal your guns.
Okay.
Is there guns in there?
The deputy properly identifies himself and his authority before proceeding with the formal arrest. This is a procedural requirement that ensures the legitimacy of the arrest and protects both the officer and suspect's rights. The subject is informed of the charges and his rights begin to be read.
You're trying to ID yourself and come off as a law enforcement officer. No, that's what it looks like to me. Why would you wear an arson investigator badge to serve civil papers?
The deputy administers Miranda warnings, as required by the Supreme Court's decision in Miranda versus Arizona. These warnings must be given before any custodial interrogation. Notice the deputy ensures the subject acknowledges understanding of each right. This prevents later claims of confusion or coercion.
Where's the K9?
At home.
What kind of dog is it?
German Shepherd.
What does it do?
He's a tracking dog. He's a certified search and rescue dog.
So, Adam gave you an A-Win radio.
Post Miranda, the subject admits he's a certified search and rescue dog handler with a German Shepherd trained in tracking. While search and rescue work is legitimate, using that status to justify law enforcement equipment for private process serving crosses legal boundaries. The distinction between authorized emergency personnel and private citizens is crucial in law.
Hold on. We're going to do this. Let me see that part.
The deputy requests the subject's agent identification following proper investigative protocol by verifying claimed affiliations. The radio equipment particularly concerns law enforcement, as unauthorized possession and use of emergency management radios may violate federal communications regulations in addition to state criminal statutes. Documentation of equipment, serial numbers, and identification allows authorities to verify ownership and authorization. This meticulous evidence collection demonstrates professional investigation standards. Each piece of information gathered strengthens the criminal case and limits potential defenses.
683 6700. Yes, sir. Bunch of dead bodies back there, man.
The investigation continues as deputies attempt to contact Adam directly. This real-time verification prevents subjects from claiming misunderstanding or miscommunication later. Government agencies maintain strict protocols about equipment distribution, particularly communications devices that access emergency frequencies. The subject's claim of being a volunteer becomes increasingly problematic. Volunteer status with emergency management does not authorize using emergency equipment for personal business. Arkansas law is clear that emergency vehicle provisions apply only during actual emergency responses, not private civil process serving. When questioned about what law authorizes his use of emergency lights, the subject admits he doesn't know of any. This admission is significant. Ignorance of the law is generally not a defense, but knowing violation demonstrates intent, a key element in criminal impersonation charges.
You hold on to this.
Right.
So you're running amber and green lights. Get through traffic.
Deputies discover additional concerning items in the vehicle, including what the subject describes as a bi-stick for dogs. The accumulation of law enforcement-style equipment, combined with the subject's shifting explanations, strengthens the probable cause for arrest and subsequent vehicle search under the automobile exception.
I can't remember his last name now.
Well, he says he's a volunteer.
The sheriff arrives on scene and takes control of the investigation. His decision to seize the ADEM radio as evidence is proper procedure. Equipment used in commission of crimes becomes evidence regardless of ownership. ADEM will be notified and can reclaim their property through proper legal channels.
Sir.
Mind if I open your door and activate lights so the lights are color in front of your truck?
I'll be happy to do that for you, sir.
That's a bite stick for dogs?
The subject's admission that he was trying to get that lady before she left with her children reveals his motivation for using emergency equipment. However, urgency in serving civil papers does not create legal authority to violate traffic laws or impersonate law enforcement. Private process servers must operate within the same legal constraints as any citizen.
Are you a firefighter?
I'm certified firefighter too.
Are you
yes.
a firefighter? What agency?
I'm not.
What emergency was you running to?
We've been over.
What
this.
emergency were you running to? We've been over it. Which emergency were you running to?
The sheriff examines the civil papers being served, a divorce and custody matter from Harris County, Texas. Interstate service of process has specific legal requirements, none of which include authorization for emergency vehicle operation. The subject claims this is his first service, raising questions about his business legitimacy.
Oh, the sir?
Like that. Back up.
I got a hearing disability. I'm sorry.
Well, then you can say that without stepping towards us. Listen, I don't have a hearing disability.
Okay.
I can talk louder. But here's what you have. The papers that you're going to serve right now,
I can
that's
handle
what I need to see.
Yes, sir.
Critical information emerges. These are the first papers the subject has ever served in his claimed business. Starting a process service company by immediately violating multiple laws and endangering public safety demonstrates remarkably poor judgment. The sheriff's skepticism is entirely warranted.
That's everything I'm serving, sir.
No, I told you what you were serving. What I asked for was very clear. What are you serving right now that you're driving like that for?
Restraining order.
You serving a restraining order, which is not a. That's for
The
divorce.
subject claims authorization through Lonoke County, but the papers originate from Texas. This
And
inconsistency in his
there's
story
a-
further
there's a
undermines
law
credibility.
down a turn
Interstate
lane,
service of
schools
process
about to be
requires
active,
following the
everybody
laws
like
of the
the risk.
state where service occurs,
I don't
not the
think I'll
originating
drive at night.
jurisdiction.
I'm sorry, sir.
You got till March 21st.
Well, that's the court date.
Well, he's also our civil process server, so you can.
Right.
District Court of Harris County, Texas.
Mhm.
You said it was from Lonoke County.
I'm authorized through Lonoke County.
No,
sir.
That is not
Deputies
what you
begin
told me.
discussing
You told me
potential federal
You told
charges
me when I
related
pulled
to
up
the
there, you said
communications
this is,
equipment.
through Lonoke County.
Unauthorized use of emergency management radios may violate
a
Federal
divorce.
Communications Commission regulations. The subject's volunteer status, even
Yes,
if
sir,
legitimate,
this is
doesn't
a
extend to
divorce.
using government equipment for private business ventures.
I'm not sure we're not going to tell his ride and have hold it as evidence. Not me.
The sheriff notices the subject has a notary commission, which requires a background check in Arkansas. If the subject has prior felony convictions, obtaining a notary commission would require false statements on the application, potentially adding forgery or false swearing charges to the criminal impersonation.
That handcuffs is a theft deterrent.
Yeah, and that aspartame's a white deterrent.
What process company do you work for?
I work for myself, sir.
What's the name of your company?
A crucial revelation the subject has, a revoked handgun license. In Arkansas, licenses are typically revoked for criminal convictions or mental health adjudications. The subject's reluctance to explain the revocation suggests criminal history, which would make possession of weapons illegal under federal and state law.
Impersonation is what I think it's going to be.
Without a doubt.
Where are you from?
Jacksonville.
You have a revoked handgun license.
Mhm.
Why is it revoked?
The sheriff, identifying himself as a firearms instructor, presses for information about the revocation. The subject admits to a mistake a long time ago, likely referring to criminal convictions. This omission combined with the law enforcement equipment suggests potential federal charges for felon in possession of weapons.
Now,
You put everybody at risk. We had to do 90 miles an hour to catch up with you. Just so happens we drive black and gray Dodge pickups too. To me, you're impersonating one of my deputy sheriffs. Makes it hard for us to do our job if you run around here doing this kind of stuff. Everybody over here is giving us thumbs up.
Deputies discover additional law enforcement equipment during the vehicle inventory. Arkansas law permits inventory searches of impounded vehicles to protect owner property and officer safety. Any evidence discovered during lawful inventory is admissible in court, even without a search warrant.
yeah.
And with the radio host.
So where does that radio come back to? Did you purchase it?
No. It belongs to Adam.
It belongs to Adam.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's going to be returned to Adam.
Okay.
Just go ahead.
He's got a radio in his truck.
The sheriff determines criminal impersonation charges are appropriate, citing Arkansas Code Section 537208. As a Class D felony, this charge carries potential imprisonment up to 6 years and significant fines. The systematic collection of evidence makes conviction highly
Right
likely.
there. Hand him the papers. Put your hands on the truck. Have anything else on you shouldn't have on you?
Nope.
Are you incorporated?
I am.
With the state of Arkansas?
Yes.
The formal arrest proceeds with the subject being handcuffed and searched for officer safety. The search incident to arrest doctrine established in Chimmel versus California permits officers to search arrested persons and the immediate area for weapons or evidence. This search is conducted professionally and within legal boundaries.
These are the first papers you're served.
Yes, sir.
You've never served any other papers.
Nope.
So why is your handgun license revoked? You have any criminal history?
During questioning about his search and rescue claims, inconsistencies continue emerging. The subject hasn't conducted any searches this year, hasn't been to a fire in years, and isn't affiliated with any official agency. These admissions destroy any remaining credibility for possessing emergency equipment.
We need a code 11 as well.
I'll go ahead and get my camera. I'm going to photograph it.
Yeah.
The sheriff identifies himself as a canine handler, demonstrating expertise in the field the subject claims. The subject's claims about having a German shepherd trained in German for tracking work appear fabricated or greatly exaggerated. Professional canine handlers recognize these inconsistencies
I'm not trying to be
immediately.
police.
What are you trying to be then? Why are you running like this? No other paper server does that. My guy drives a marked unit. He doesn't drive like that.
Okay.
He's a full-time certified deputy that serves papers.
Yeah.
And he didn't act like this.
Yeah.
You got this badge on right here. Why are you wearing an arson investigator
A significant
badge?
omission occurs when the subject claims he wore the arson investigator badge to avoid being shot while serving paper. This statement demonstrates conscious impersonation of law enforcement for perceived safety benefits, directly supporting the criminal impersonation charges. Intent to deceive is clearly established.
100.
Go ahead.
An arson investigator badge.
The sheriff's investigation reveals the subject obtained search and rescue license plates through potentially fraudulent means.
Nope.
Specialty plates in Arkansas require proof of affiliation with recognized organization. If the subject misrepresented his status to obtain these plates, additional fraud charges could apply.
Send it back to him.
Why are you taking my truck?
Deputies discover the subject has active felony charges, explaining his revoked handgun license. In Arkansas, any felony conviction creates a lifetime prohibition of firearm possession unless specifically restored by executive pardon. The weapons found in the vehicle, even if less lethal, may violate these restrictions.
Doesn't make sense. You got felony charges on you, and you got a badge. And I know what it says when I get close, and I know what you're saying. You're saying you're an arson investigator. Nobody in this state or this country is going to use you as an arson investigator because you're a felon.
The decision to impound and inventory the vehicle follows established protocol for arrests involving vehicles. The Supreme Court in South Dakota versus Opperman upheld standardized inventory procedures. Every item will be documented, preserving evidence and protecting against claims of theft or damage.
You're telling us that you were trying to get here because this says take kids and stuff. This doesn't say take kids. It says it's an emergency order.
Okay.
So the reason we're telling you also about it, why do you have a radar?
Says I enjoy playing with it.
You're playing.
The subject requests citation and release, but the sheriff correctly refuses. Criminal impersonation is a serious felony requiring booking and formal charging. The public safety risk posed by someone actively impersonating law enforcement justifies custodial arrest rather than citation release.
You have guns in here?
Nope.
You're under arrest.
Discovery of the dash camera raises additional evidentiary concerns. The footage may contain evidence of multiple traffic violations and impersonation incidents. Under Arkansas law, this recording becomes evidence and will be analyzed for additional criminal conduct.
Sheriff, you got that radio?
Spencer does. So that dash cam, we need to get the footage off that dash cam of him doing 90 miles an hour with lights and siren. David? Was it recording while you were driving?
I don't know.
Deputies coordinate evidence collection and documentation. The systematic approach ensures chain of custody requirements are met for trial. Each piece of equipment photographed and logged strengthens the prosecution's case and limits potential defense strategies.
Yeah. Well, you see what I'm... You
I
can't...
understand. The thing about it is,
He's got
when I,
the dash cam of what he did. We're going to seize that as well. We got evidence of the crime.
amateur radio volunteer for Adam.
So
The
whenever
reason
we have
why
a
this
natural
seems to
disaster.
be used for this
The sheriff discovers the subject obtained CPR instructor credentials, raising questions about background check fraud. Many professional certifications prohibit felons, particularly those involving public trust. If the subject concealed his criminal history, additional charges may apply.
So you started papers for?
So,
Where do you get the papers from?
These particular ones came from an attorney in Houston.
well, just
Further investigation reveals extensive law enforcement style equipment in the vehicle's rear compartment. The quantity and variety of equipment eliminates any reasonable claim of coincidence or misunderstanding. This represents deliberate, premeditated impersonation of law enforcement.
Impersonate law enforcement officer. Run around with them. The only thing you don't have is a gun. What's in the back of your truck here? What are those for?
The sheriff determines the equipment cache justifies enhanced charges and potentially federal investigation. When criminal impersonation involves extensive equipment and interstate activity, federal authorities may pursue prosecution under Title 18 provisions regarding impersonation of federal officers.
You got your card? What do you use this truck for?
Somewhere. Breaking heart.
What's in the box? In the box there?
I don't think anything is. I may have a jump box in there.
class you taught, where was it at?
Discovery of
It
pepper
was just
spray
a
and additional
bag, and it
handcuffs
was
and bags
in
throughout the
my
vehicle continues building the case. Each item discovered adds weight to the prosecution's argument that this was systematic, intentional criminal conduct rather than misunderstanding or poor judgment.
Get a search warrant for anything and everything that's not locked if he doesn't want to cooperate.
Our privacy policy, it's not locked. I was gonna say our policy says I can enter.
We may need to get a search warrant for his house.
The sheriff questions the subject about his notary commission application, specifically whether he disclosed his felony conviction. In Arkansas, failing to disclose disqualifying information on official applications constitutes false swearing a separate felony charge.
Expired in 2027, so it's recent.
So you lied on some paperwork there to get that. It asked if you've been convicted of crimes.
Nope.
You didn't lie on it?
Nope.
You put on there you was a felon?
Nope.
Maybe you was hard?
Investigation reveals the subject's criminal history, includes aggravated assault charges from 2008. This violent felony conviction absolutely prohibits possession of weapons and may disqualify him from numerous professional licenses he claims to hold.
Yeah, no,
What are the handcuffs for?
I said theft deterrent.
What about the ones in the bag and the pepper spray?
The ones in the back. Well, pepper sprays for the dog.
Deputies discover a breathalyzer unit in the vehicle. The subject claims it's to ensure he doesn't drive drunk, but law enforcement recognizes this as another tool used in police impersonation schemes. Private citizens have no legitimate need for portable breath testing equipment.
When you applied for your notary, you filled out the questionnaire, right? What all questions do you remember being on there? Because we're going to pull that as well.
Okay.
The sheriff's skepticism about the breathalyzer explanation is warranted. Impersonators often use such devices during fake traffic stops to appear legitimate. Combined with other evidence, this strengthens the argument for systematic criminal impersonation rather than isolated poor judgment.
We're going to pull all that unless you want to talk to us. What happened about the aggravated assault?
I don't know.
What court was
He's
it?
got a breathalyzer, he's got a taser, he's got everything in here. I think a search, I think we need to have a search warrant now.
And do a charge of
The subject claims to be an independent search and rescue operator, but can't name any recent operations or affiliations. Legitimate search and rescue organizations maintain strict standards and wouldn't authorize members to use emergency equipment for private business.
You have radar, you have BAC, a PPT, right?
Make sure I don't drive drunk.
Make sure you don't drive drunk. That makes sense, huh? You carry one in your car, deputy? Just make sure you don't drive drunk.
When questioned about recent fire responses, the subject admits he hasn't been to one in years. This admission contradicts his claimed need for emergency equipment and arson investigator credentials. The pattern of deception continues throughout the interrogation.
What search and rescue are you with?
I'm an independent search and rescue guy. I have a dog, and if somebody needs me, they call me.
You been drinking today?
No.
The sheriff challenges the subject's canine handler claims, revealing his own expertise in the field.
I'm sorry?
Professional handlers recognize the subject's claims about German commands and tracking work as likely fabricated. This expertise allows the sheriff to identify deception others might miss.
Got canine in the front of his truck.
Working dog.
Last fire you been to?
I'm sorry?
Last fire you been to?
Deputies prepare for transport and booking while continuing to document evidence.
So you're not
The professional handling of this arrest from initial stop through booking preparation demonstrates proper law enforcement procedures. Every step is documented for court proceedings.
Did you not put down you was with search and rescue?
It was good search and rescue, yes.
What?
And I still do that.
You do.
What kind of dog you got?
German Shepherd?
The sheriff instructs deputies to obtain search warrants if needed for locked containers. While the vehicle inventory is lawful, locked containers may require additional legal authority. This attention to constitutional requirements ensures evidence remains admissible.
Just so happened I'm a dog guy.
Yeah. I love our dogs.
I'm sorry?
So I love our dogs.
It just so happens I'm a dog guy.
Outstanding. We're going to get along well then.
No, we're not either. I'm not.
Discussion of potential federal charges continues among deputies. The interstate nature of the subject's activities combined with possession of communications equipment may trigger federal jurisdiction. Coordination with federal authorities will determine final charging decisions.
And I bet you Adam doesn't know you're a convicted felon, part of their organization. And we're going to check with the driver patrol about getting the search and rescue tags and what it requires to get those. Amateur radio.
The systematic evidence collection concludes with photography and documentation of all seized items. This comprehensive approach ensures successful prosecution and limits appellate issues. The deputy's professionalism throughout the investigation sets a high standard for similar cases.
So whenever you, where were you headed to meet this lady?
School?
School. Keep saying school. What school?
The high school.
The high school.
What's her name?
I don't know. You have to look at the paper.
Who told you she was over there?
Final preparations for transport include securing the subject and ensuring all evidence is properly tagged. The arrest concludes without violence or resistance despite the serious charges. This peaceful resolution reflects well on both law enforcement's approach and the subject's ultimate compliance.
I'm trained in interviewing techniques. Okay? You're lying. What school are you going to?
The high school.
Take his camera and put in evidence too. We want his cameras.
Is it on?
It is on.
Recording?
Awesome.
Yeah. Spencer?
According to court records, Jeremy Kurck was convicted of criminal impersonation and sentenced to 1 year of probation with fines totaling $1,235. His vehicle and equipment were forfeited. In 2023, he filed a civil lawsuit against Lonoke County, which was dismissed without prejudice. Disturbingly, Kurck was arrested again in April 2020 for impersonating an officer and conducting a traffic stop on a 15-year-old girl in White County, Arkansas. This pattern of behavior validates the deputy's thorough investigation and prosecution of the original case. The bodycam footage from this incident has been viewed over 7 million times and is frequently used in law enforcement training to demonstrate proper handling of impersonation cases.